Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to our first Wednesday Youth Talks. So today we have a guest, Gurcharan. Thank you for coming as well. All right. Hey Gurch.
Hey, hi, Steffi. You're most
Hi,
welcome. Thank you for
welcome and congratulations on being my first invited guest on this Youth Talks.
Really, that's interesting. I'm so honored.
Yes. So, like we said, right, we'll be like how we realize that Malaysian, on average, they don't really like read a lot of books, right? So if I can ask, right, may I ask what got you into reading? How did you started reading?
I think basically this started when I was very, very young. I had parents who were not actually strict about reading, but always seemed to have something for me to read and look at. And I always found it fascinating to look at books and see what was the content and all that, even before I could properly read. And the fact that I also had, the kind of aunties who are teachers and all that, and they always have something for me to do during the school holidays to keep me out of trouble, basically. So that's where it started. And on top of it, my late father was a very great Scrabble player, I would say. And
Scrabble player,
he was
okay.
very good at it. So that time in my house, right, there was like lots of books. We had like cabinets and cabinets, and my dad was an avid collector of books as well, because he collected a lot of old stuff, antiques, and all that. So books were one of the things that he actually, and quality books. I'm not talking about just any book. So he knew what to collect and allowed me to read whatever I wanted. There was no restrictions, and I picked it up from there. Throughout my schooling time and all that, I was always involved with the library, indirectly
Oh,
involved. Like I was a library prefect, I was a school prefect, sort of thing. All kinds of things were happening there. So once you get to school, then your interest in reading will change, because it's more towards going into the teenage years and stuff like that. So we changed our style of reading, the material that we choose.
yeah.
Then later on, once I started going to college, I hated books. I didn't want to look at books anymore. So I was like, intimidated with so much of, any college kid is like that. They just, regardless of how you want to look at it, like, oh, you study, you have to study, and all that. Yes, you have to study, but after you have studied whatever textbooks and all that, right, you don't want to look at another book. So I kind of left it for, you can say maybe about 5 years like that. But occasionally I would pick
5
up
years.
something and read. Then when I was in Langkawi again, I worked in a place called Pelangi Beach Resort. We were the pioneer staff over there. And inside Pelangi Beach Resort, there's this nice hangout bar, I would say. And
Okay.
it's run by this Chinese man, Willie. So Willie became a very good friend of mine. And even at that time, he was like 7 years old. So Willie's bar was actually also a small chalet with a couple of, which catered for all the backpackers, the Matale that will come just with their haversack, or just like, they're very simple, basic travelers that want accommodation, just room,
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, dinner, all in one place, like that. So I used to hang out there, help Willie sometimes to serve, even to cook. I learned how to cook good fried rice and everything there. At that time, I could really do good ones. Then Willie had this habit of reading. He habit, and I couldn't believe it. That in one room that he had literally a mountain of books left behind by all the travelers that he's been collecting. So again, it
Whoa.
started from there. And it was basically novels. I was just reading novels, getting off what you call a fiction, and no particular interest in anything at that point. But later, as time went by, I started refining my interest into things that mattered, things that, when you reach a certain age in your late 20s, in your early 30s, and stuff like that, you start looking at, in retrospect, and you start looking at things which are spiritual, things which are motivating. This kind of subject started fascinating me. The metaphysics, what we call, even what we call this particular topic that everybody so taboo about, alchemy. Alchemy is something that people think that is related to devil worship and all that. Even sorcery. I because I found them very fascinating, and they were available. That's the best part. To me, it's like that. If it's there, I'll read it. That's it. Why should I limit myself?
Yes,
And I
true.
picked up And I learned, I wouldn't say good points, bad points, or anything like that, but I learned a little bit about something everywhere. And some I've forgotten. Some will suddenly just, you know, when you read, you forget about things, and suddenly just like maybe 15 years later, it just comes back and say, hey, I read this before. And I know this book, I have this book. And I check. Yes, I have this book. Or, some form of that kind of material will come to me. So that's how it is. And I've always been blessed that there's always been books coming to me as well. Then, my experience previously was I was working in hotels, I told you before. And
Yes.
eventually I progressed to being a lecturer of books again, right? So,
Yes.
and there we were given mandate basically to read up to 10 books every month, and try to do a book review and all that. So these kind of things we try to achieve. But yeah, I would love to achieve that quota. But in reality, if you're a married person, if you got kids, and you got a life, in other words, and you plus your other
Yeah.
administrative duties, near to impossible to have that kind of time management, right? Because you also got to look at your fitness and the other things, other responsibilities that we have. So I could only manage to do like maybe three books a month, and even that not completed. But basically, I know what to do. I'm talking besides textbook. Textbook we don't even read actually. We just go through the topics, the titles, and we look at
Yes.
it one glance and we say, okay, this happened at work, happened at work, that happened at work. Because coming from experience to teach, you see, so I'm saying, okay, this happened at work, but no, it's not like that. The book is like that kind of things I would say. So getting into my class is quite interesting actually. The students love it because they don't have to buy textbook. I just give them the knowledge.
Yes, of course, it makes their bags lighter. They're like, I don't have to carry books around me and all.
Yeah. So, and KDU students, books are phobia to them. But the thing is, I always try to get them to have alternative reading material than what's text. So I moved into, that's when I use a lot of e-learning. We were actually the pioneers of, we call it LMS, Learning Management Systems, at that time in that school. And it was really, really new. They were using some other system before that, but we changed it to a different one. It was good because I could the main highlight of the system was that I could share a lot of stuff with them and good links at the same time for them to go and explore, find out, come back to me and report to me. Because we were all going towards e-commerce and stuff like that. So that was the kind of thing that I wanted them to pick up and read and all that. I still teach e-commerce until today, by the way. Still
Oh,
part
you
of my
still
study
teach?
lecturing. I still teach.
Okay,
In fact, I
okay.
had a class. Yeah. So even in those classes, I always tell my students, I say, now that you have the time, it's the opportunity for you to start reading, pick up as much as you can. There are, however, some students that I have, don't have to tell them. They automatically gobble up 10 books, 15 books every month without fail. They always have a reading material with them. If it's not an actual book, they are reading an e-book or they're listening to an e-book.
Oh,
So that's another option. If you have no time to read, listen to an ebook. I mean, there's so much available on YouTube. Type in the kind of titles that you want. Something that is every book is life changing. Trust me. Okay. Don't think that I'm looking for that one particular book that's going to change my life. Every book will change your life. Every that you find that's whether it's fiction, whether it's non-fiction. If you like spiritual stuff, you like religious stuff, go and just read it. Don't listen to people. Read yourself.
I never.
Understand yourself.
I used to
Oh,
really hate reading books. Books is not my thing.
yeah, it is. But the thing is, for most people, it is like that, But I would encourage them to pick up the subject matter, understand the subject matter. You don't have to be an expert for it. Nobody's going to ask you to go to United Nations and talk about it. Just for yourself,
Yes.
understand, And once you have that grasp of language, you start having a flow. Even in your mind, you start thinking differently because you realize, hey, I can say the big words. I can make complete sentences, and I don't need to refer to anything to get this done. Maybe occasionally I
Yes,
make mistakes.
exactly.
You will find it happening, in you, and you see there's a vast improvement, right? So that needs to be recognized. You need to recognize that yourself. Then you can see your progress due to reading, and from there, automatically you are self-motivated to pick up something to read everywhere you go, right? Like some people have the habit of go to a clinic, must pick up a magazine and read. Go to a dentist, must
Yes.
pick up a magazine and read. But nowadays, don't do that. You'll get COVID. So you don't know who's the last.
Yes. Bring your own book instead.
Yeah, bring your own book. I always carry something in my clutch bag or in my haversack or whatever. I always have some material to read. Uh, Even in my car when I have traffic jams or long traffic jams, like the stupid MCO kind of blocks here and there. That sometimes you just stuck there for hours. So what I do, I put on an audiobook, I listen to it. Or I put on YouTube, I listen to it. Because I can't read and drive, so I listen to something, Or sometimes in the days when CDs were popular, I had loads of CD with different audiobooks, but all training stuff, like neuro-linguistic programming, I read about the subject matter. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not even a practitioner of NLP, but I would love to do it someday when I can. It is a very, very good, I would say, way of doing things.
I see you kind of lagged already. Good.
I'll be back. So sorry.
It's okay, no worries. All right, while he is away for his phone call. So I see there are a lot of viewers right here. Right. Hi everyone. So is there anything that you guys wanna, do you guys read? So all the viewers online watching right now, do you
Hi,
guys
I'm back.
actually read? Oh, I was just asking the viewers some questions if they actually read during their free time, and then you got back.
Yeah.
So I see
This is on the phone. I'm talking to you, and my WhatsApp is
oh,
also on the
okay.
laptop. So people are calling me on that, so I have to shut.
Okay,
Sorry.
no worries to that, no
So where were we?
worries. We were talking about what were we talking about? Because the phone, because you lagged before the phone call, so it kind of went off for a bit.
Yeah. So
You were talking about how
that's
you
what
listen to
reading.
those audios.
Yeah, and how it actually helps you with the flow of your mind, the way you express things, the way you grasp things, the way you look at things will be different. Because when you read something, for that matter, what you've been used to read after you have picked up this reading habit, you will see that there's a lot of changes in the way you understand things. The understanding level is better. I mean, you develop a lot of patience, one thing I realized. And I was talking to you about the neuro-linguistic programming, which is very, very good. It actually helps you overcome a lot of initial problems that people struggle with. It can even take away pains in your body just by telling your body to remove the pain. So that's how powerful NLP is. And yeah, but most people don't realize it, or they don't try to discover about it, or they want to spend thousands of dollars in going for a course to study NLP. Actually, I don't want to spoil people's cari makan lah, okay? But you can actually find out yourself first. Go to YouTube, type out NLP, learn from there first. Then you realize it's quite simple to do it yourself. But if you want to be a practitioner, go and do the proper certification. They have a lot in Malaysia, a lot of good practitioners in Malaysia. I've been to a few NLP sessions and all that. They were good. So this is just some of the good stuff that you can find out there that will really, that's life-changing. That is life-changing, yeah? The other books that I've come across that is, there's this author by the name of Eckhart Tolle. All right, Eckhart Tolle. He's German. And the book that actually really changed my life was a book called The Power of Now. Something that's very simple, something about, something telling you to live now, in the now, not in the past, not in the future when nothing happens, not in the past where you can't change anything. So just live now, right now. And it's a simple concept, but most people find it struggle to cope with their lives and all that. So yeah, that's among the books that I have come across, and many more actually. So
I believe there's a lot of books that you can actually share. But what book will you be sharing tonight? I see Mason asking, any good book sharing tonight?
Oh, okay. One good book that I can recommend for anyone, everyone at any level to pick up and start reading, right, will be this book called The 5-Second Rule. All right? It's called The 5-Second Rule. You can Google it.
Okay, what made you recommend that book?
Because it's something that a lot of people need. All right, because when I read it, about a couple of...
I lost your voice. Oh, okay, it's back. It's back.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
All right, so a lot of people struggle with a lot of things in life, like getting things done. All right, moving forward with a lot of things, and it's good for even going towards their goals. All these kind of things really affect people. So they don't know how. They don't.
Gurch, your line is kind of going off, Gurch.
Yeah, I realized now.
Yeah.
Better.
Because when you were talking
Or
for some time, it's like, or maybe you should try coming in again.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try again. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right, guys. He'll be coming back soon. Just that his internet line is really laggy right now at the moment. So right here, I'm gonna continue my questions just now. So I see Mr. Harmon likes reading. Who? Anyone else? Yes, the audio got disruption. So he said he will come back soon. See how it goes. So has any one of you read the 5-second rule yet? The one that Gurcharan recommended? I read to increase my knowledge, but I am a slow reader. Any suggestion to read fast? Any suggestion to read fast? Because I'm a fast reader, so I'm not quite sure how it's gonna be like. Hold on, yeah. Hey, Gurch, I have one question for you before you start sharing.
Sure.
Someone asked here, I read to increase my knowledge, but I am a slow reader. Any suggestion to read fast?
No. Read at your pace. You will pick up, and you will slowly realize that. What do you mean by slow reader? Is it that you read one chapter, then you don't read it for the next 2 weeks, or what?
I'm not sure.
Is that what you mean?
Because when I read the question too, I was like, I don't know, but I am a fast reader, so I can't give you any suggestion. Oh, she said a book takes her 1 month to finish, to complete.
Okay. That means she procrastinates when she reads. so she's got to break the procrastination cycle.
So she doesn't really want to read it, but she's just forcing herself to read it.
How long has she been reading books?
How long have you been reading books? I only can read the Wang. I'm sorry. She said for each chapter she needs to digest, so it takes her quite some time.
Then
since childhood, she said.
She needs to digest. Okay. So the thing is, it's okay to read slowly or whatever, because if you need to understand the subject matter, then go ahead and do it at your pace. But remember, you can also read more than 2 books at a time, more than 1 book. You can read 3 books at a time if you want to also. You just need to break it up into segments of the day.
But wouldn't that, maybe like if you're reading this book today,
pace and all that.
but if you're reading this book today and then you're reading this other book tomorrow, won't you forget how it goes? Some people might,
Depends. How something is going, you are going to read it anyway. You want to binge read for sure. But that normally happens when you have all these novels which are fiction or whatever. Then you need to know that's different. You will never going to stop yourself from reading. You will go up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's how it is. The reason for, if you want to digest something, I'd like to know why you like to digest type of book that you're reading and all that. Is it got to do with the subject matter, or is it the scenario, the scene, whatever? So some people like to absorb that. It's okay. Take your time to read, because there is no race, there is no contest, there's nothing going on to say that, hey, I read 20 books a month and I must get myself. No, take your
Yes,
time,
true.
understand it, because as time goes by, you will realize that there is only so much of experiences that a person can have and write in a book. And by going to the next book and the next book and the next book, you realize that, I've read about this before, or something similar to this before. Then you start speeding up that way. Even sometimes me, certain books that I pick up, one chapter can take me one day. One chapter. Because I need to sit back and reflect on what's actually written, and what is actually saying to me. If you feel that the book is saying something to you, or that's something to really sit back and relax and reflect and think about it before you move on. Because there's some books that are really heavy reading material. The Power of Now is one of them. That one, the book even tells you that if you see this symbol coming in the next chapter or before this chapter ends, stop reading for 2 days and think about it. That's how it is. Some books are that heavy. They don't expect you to go through and breeze through it like that. But for this book by Mel Robinson, The 5 Second Rule, you can read the whole book in one day. Even though it's like 4 pages, but I'm telling you, it's quite easy to read, because the book is like the way it's spaced out, and with the advice to overcome this. I like that, because okay, just like your friend over there who takes some time to read a book, right? Maybe 1 month to finish one book. You can try the 5 second rule in order for you to speed up your reading. Like when you have stopped reading and you want to continue later, and there'll be a million and one things that come to your mind and say, no, I don't want to read now. I'm thinking of maybe doing it after I've done this, after I swept the floor, after I clean the fan, after I clean the aircon, after I do gardening, after everything will come, right? So
After
that is
everything,
one
and
of the
then the book
practices.
never comes.
Yes, everything that you can do to prevent you from reading, your mind will do that. Because you see why? For most people, reading is an uncomfortable experience for a lot of people. I don't blame them, because the way we are brought up in school has made a lot of people dislike books, distrust the experience, and they find it something which is daunting to them. So when you try to get them to read something, to them is quite an uncomfortable suggestion to them. Why? Because your mind, our minds, have been trained to react to something uncomfortable and give you alternatives to do something else. That's how the mind
Yes.
works. So now your job is to trick the mind. So you got to understand, okay, this is what the 5 second rule is so beautiful about, right? So it tells you exactly this is the situation you have, right? You are fighting only against your mind and nothing else. Everything that's happening around you is always there, but it's your mind that's bringing it back and forth to distract you from what you're supposed to do. So let's say you want to read the book, and you say that, okay, 3 p.m. today, I finished everything, I must read the book. So 3 p.m. comes, suddenly you realize you need to clean the shutter, or suddenly you realize your car got not enough air. Suddenly you realize the type of cheese you have is not good enough, or suddenly you realize that maybe I should buy more bananas. So this kind of rubbish will happen non-stop. Clutter into your mind that makes you until you totally forget about reading for the next 2 days. Because why, there's so much to do. You don't not to say you don't prioritize. We all prioritize what we want to do, but when it comes to this, what I'm telling you is, when it comes to doing something which your mind finds uncomfortable, it's not what you want to do. You want to do this, but your mind is finding it uncomfortable. It deflects you to do other things all the way. You won't even get doing what you want to do in the beginning. So the 5 second rule works like this. Why they call it 5 second rule? And this is how the lady discovered it. She was going through a lot of things in her life. She was married, going to be divorced, bad family life, alcoholic, lost a job, lost a business, lost everything. Basically, start from zero. Like there was no reason to wake up in the morning to do anything. Like wake up, hit snooze, wake up, hit snooze, and all that. So she went to that bottom part of the life where most people don't come out from. Some people do, but most people don't. So but yet she still wanted to do some improvement on herself. I think basically that's a good start, always to have that feeling that I can overcome this, but don't know how. But at some point, some answer will come, but don't know when, that kind of thing lah. So she had an answer when she was watching television before she went to bed, and before she switched off the TV. There was a rocket that was about to go up. It's a NASA rocket, you know, the one that goes to moon and whatever they launch. Normally, when they launch something, the countdown is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and that's it. So she looked at it and she just asked herself, if only my life could be like that and I can get things done. She had a lot of things she wanted to do, but she couldn't. The most important thing that she wanted to do was to get up early, prepare breakfast for her kids, get them ready for school, send them to school, get things done for the whole morning and get everything over and done with. And she could not achieve that for a very long time. So she just imagined that in her head, right? I wish I could do it. So the next morning, the alarm actually rang and she got up and she immediately did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing and she got up. All right. She said, yeah, it took some effort, but I got up. Within the 5 second, I got up and I didn't think much after that. I started doing what I needed to do. The first 1 to 3 seconds was a bit uncomfortable to get up and then to, start getting ready. But once I was already up and about, she said the whole thing changed. Then she realized a change in her, right? So she moved on to the second day. She tried it. It worked again. Third day, fourth day, fifth day, and she started trying it on so many different things in her life, right? The 5, 4, 3, 1 rule. And psychology to understand what is this about, how to affect people. Then she realized that how the mind actually tricks you into making things uncomfortable and distract you, like waking up in the morning, right? A lot of people don't like to get up in the morning. They hit snooze up to 10, like me sometimes. So
Actually,
you
me.
don't want to get up, right?
Yeah.
So the mind keeps telling you that another 10, 15 minutes, okay lah, I can just sleep, no problem. But actually, it's your body is telling you that it's time to get up, get things done, because that's the most productive time of your life is in the morning. Your brain is fully equipped, fully charged already, like your phone. After night, charged already, right? Your brain is the same. Your brain works in the same way. You're fully charged and you're all ready to do a lot of stuff to take birth.
Yeah.
So what you do is when you hit snooze, when you don't really wake up, the next thing that happens is your body goes into like a regression. Like, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm going to sleep. But in order for it to happen again, it's been calculated, researched by scientists, right? It takes about 120 minutes before the next opportunity comes for you. So you see, there's always opportunity, but we are the ones that snooze it. You get me? So that's what the 5-second rule is all about. Yeah. So I can tell you about it a lot, but you see, even the book takes about 4 hours to listen to, right? So there's a lot that we can discover in that book. So this is just to highlight the points that I'm telling you that, why I find it important for a lot of people. Because, there are a lot of perfect people out there who get everything done. They are God's chosen one and all that. So let's leave them aside. We're not talking about them. We're talking about struggling. Yeah, there are people even with simple things they struggle. They cannot get things done. It is something which is they need that crutch, a psychological motivation, crutch or whatever. This is what they need. This is the kind of tool. This is the tool that you need in your life in order to get things moving. Like if you dream to run a restaurant, if you dream to write a book, especially now during COVID time, you can dream as much as you want. There's a lot of time. So dream to do something. And use the 5, 4, 3, 1 rule and start working towards it. It doesn't mean that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and I really own a restaurant. No, start with the small things. Start researching. How do I manage a restaurant? How do I start with the finances? What do I need to work with the bank with? These are the things that you need to know. So you need to set the things in motion. Then keep doing this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule every day, right? And they say it has to start.
Your
You need
audio
to
is
have a
gone
routine
again.
every morning.
You said something.
Am I okay now?
The one before do you remember what you said before?
Well, what I'm saying, what I said earlier was that you need to have a routine in the morning in order to make it work, right? You need to have a routine. So it's like when you wake up in the morning, what do you do for the first 10 minutes or for the first half an hour? Some people wake up in the morning, they start prayer. Some people start with prayer. Some people start with prayer, then followed by writing down their goals for the day. They have some people are very disciplined. They write down their goals for the day on their to-do list. Can do that, but some form of what we call a routine that you need to establish in the morning. Some people get up in the morning, water the plants, or do something or something. Once you do that, then over time, if you keep doing it like more than 30, 40 times, it becomes a habit. Okay, that's the calculation usually. About 30, 35 times becomes a habit already. So then, then it's difficult to let go. And that's a very good positive sign. But the starting part, the first part of it, that's the difficult part. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the first one that you're going to take, whether to wake up or whether to reach your goals or to get things done, or you always been planning to paint the house, but somehow that just doesn't happen. Buying bananas is more important, or put tire in the air, that kind of things. All, or the gate rusty, must sandpaper a bit, unnecessary things. Or maybe I should remove all the snails from my garden. All the most unnecessary things will come up when you need to do something really, really matters. And believe me, I am an expert at this. I've done all the necessary, unnecessary you can think of. I'm talking through experience here, okay? And now I don't. Now I'm more organized. I have my things to do. I do what I can, but it's that I'm so busy nowadays. It's just like it's amazing. What not book has changed me, but in few other things and all that. This definitely is a positive step towards getting things done, getting more organized, and putting things into place and cementing my idea there and then that yeah, I can do this. Anybody can do this if they just listen and follow the book. It's, just listen to it. It's on YouTube anyway, so you don't have to buy it. So I mean, if you want to talk to the author, go ahead. Her name is Mel Robinson. If you want to buy on Amazon, go ahead. Worthwhile books to look at. I keep exploring this kind of subject matter all the time. So this is just there's also like they have the 80-20 rule is something that you need to look at. You need to draw something to look at as well. Interesting stuff. It's just for our knowledge. It's not that I plan to take this and do a PhD or what. No, I just find it interesting, and it makes it makes us better. How to say? It puts us in a better position to read people without judging them. Okay, I don't judge people, but I do read people, and just in my own thoughts, and I know, okay, this is where they're coming from, and I need to adjust myself. So all this comes from reading. Pick up books on psychology and all that is very fascinating. If you don't pick up books on psychology, listen to psychologists. It's good enough. Okay, so there are plenty out there you can choose from. Jordan Stevenson is awesome. If you can listen to him online, on Facebook and all that. These are all Jordan Peterson is really, really good, and he takes all the simple things and he turns it into a debate, and he gets people to really understand where he's coming from and what you're actually wrongly thinking. He always corrects our thinking, so that's nice. So I like reading these kind of thought-provoking books. It really helps.
So other than provoking you, so it actually lets you adapt to how it goes as well. It can actually change you, how you work things out, how you manage your time, how you like the 5-second rule, like you said, right? I've actually read some few chapters of it. So in these 2 days, I try not to lay on bed when my alarm goes off. I sit up 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I get out of the room. Usually I will lay there. I don't want to move. I just want to sleep again. I'm going to continue sleeping. I don't care about anything else. So I think, reading books sometimes can really, help us. It can change us, and depending on how you're actually reading it, adapting through the books, right?
Don't stop
so
for
this,
more than 30 days.
I hope I can continue this. I've been doing this 2 days straight without, snoozing off my alarm.
You can make it because you're a very determined person. So I would advise anybody else as well for that matter. If they want it, just go for it. This book is good. Well, there's a lot of beautiful books out there. Pick up something that you can do and practice. Mind mapping is fascinating if you know how to do it correctly. it really helps you. So if you pick up all these tools in life that I feel is necessary, then you will learn how to manage things better.
Yeah. So I believe that now the viewers have already heard how you like this book and you recommend this book. Are you guys gonna start
Yeah.
reading 5 Second Rule as well? No, I don't see any answers yet, but I think they will start reading as well. I mean, this is a good book, right? If it's not a good book, you wouldn't even recommend it.
No, no. I normally recommend something which is easy for people to understand from my as a lecturer, because you know why? As a lecturer, I got to make everything idiot proof because
Yeah.
students, most of them do not understand what we are trying to tell them on the slide. So we need to make it idiot proof. So we simplify everything. So same thing with this book. It is simplified. It is simplified. It touches all walks of life, all levels, and the majority, or rather the big part of the book is basically a lot of testaments from people in there who exchange their information. They share their experiences by how what they have achieved and what they've done. With the 5 4 3 1 5 second rule. It's awesome
Yeah.
if you to read them. So sometimes you can draw inspiration from that.
I'm gonna try timing myself for reading that. But like you said, 5 second rule, you can finish it within 4 hours, right? Or within a day, right?
It's that fast, yes.
It's that fast, it's that easy. Because I saw it was like around 252 pages, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
about 200 old pages, 250 something pages. Like I said, if you don't want to read the people's testimony, right, you just read the main points inside there. You can finish it within maybe 3 hours. That's it.
Oh,
Fast.
okay.
Or
So guys, give it a try. Remember to give it a try.
yeah,
Read that. See if you can finish it within 4 hours. I will try that.
yeah. I can even give you the link that I can share the link on YouTube. You can just go to YouTube and look for it or whatever if you want. But I can share with you the link, and then you can share it with them, and they can see for themselves what is it all
Sure,
about.
sure. Is it the one that you shared to me earlier?
Yeah, you can use that. There's a lot. She's even on TED Talks. TED Talks.
Oh, Tech Talks,
TED
is it?
TAL TED Talk. She's even on TED Talk. She's even given beautiful explanation about the 5 second rule, but she calls it how not to screw up your life.
Oh, not to screw up your life, okay. But so you read that? I mean, like you're always on it, listening to it.
Oh, it's only about 20 minutes or so. Doesn't take much of your time. She's giving a lot of real-time experiences. She doesn't just talk about the book all the time. She talks about situations that stop people from actually going for their goals and all that. So she comes from many angles. Even if when you read the book, you realize it comes from many angles. And it's not something that she's doing this just because it's something that she thought about when she saw that thing on the TV and she wanted to try it, and it only works for her or what. No. When she realized she started working for a lot of people, then she went and studied the psychological aspect of it and found out that how is it that our minds, like I mentioned earlier, always try to distract us from something uncomfortable, such as waking up in the morning and things like that, and keeping us away from the goals. So the 5 4 3 1 rule establishes the fact that when we do 5 4 3 2 1, we only have 5 seconds before our mind hijacks or sabotages our original idea. Our mind will do that within 5 seconds. That's what she discovered by chance. That's what the 5 second rule is all about. Overcoming that sabotage. So it takes 5 seconds only.
So it's like you just have to keep doing it in order to make use of it. I mean, to get used to this 5 second rules to make you complete your daily task or whatever that's important on the day that you have to finish it, things like that.
Yes. Yes. Whatever
You
you
see,
think that's important, whatever that's stopping you from doing a lot of things in life, then I think you should go for it. Try it, even just for the sake of establishing a rule within yourself. Done. It's like the guide of getting things done. Just do the 5 4
yes.
3 2 1 rule. Like okay, I just decided to vacuum the house. 5 4 3 2 1, and that's it. I'm vacuuming the house. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You have to think more than that. If you're using more than 5 second rule, you're not gonna do it. It's not gonna work out.
Yeah, because it's even things like, even for relationship, it works. Apparently, if you read further in the book, it's there. It works for relationships. It works for people who are, sometimes we are in this I've come across many times when I was in my working life. Sometimes during meetings with your top management or whatever that you have, your briefings, whatever you call, it's an opportunity for you to give out an idea that will probably take you to the next level where management is concerned. Because you only have so much of time that's working in a company, so every moment that you spend in a meeting and all that is precious. You must look at it that way. Because I've been in higher management and I look at my downstairs and I always give them this opportunity to shine when they can. So most of them, sometimes they retract. They like, got an idea, but maybe because they think I'm stupid. That's where the idea first comes. When the idea first comes to the head, it sounds really good. That's the time you should go up and say, yes, I have an idea. Write it down immediately. Right? Write it down immediately. Even if you're not in a meeting environment, write it down and wait for the person to present it. But since you don't do it, that's it. Gone.
You will forget about your idea. Forget about everything, just like that.
Correct. What she's trying to tell you is you have 5 seconds to do or to pass on your message or to do something or to get something meaningful done. You have exactly 5 seconds to make the decision to do it and execute it. That's it. Anything beyond that is useless. It's not going to happen.
It's like it's now or never. It's either you do it now or you're never going to do it again.
I guess Elvis Presley got it right from before already.
A lot.
Now or never.
A lot. I'm always giving myself those excuses as well if I want to do something. I mean, way before this, I want to, I have this idea of doing this. I'm just thinking about it, but I'm not doing it. No actions at all, because it's like you don't know, you didn't know the rules yet. Nothing can, control you. So it's your mind controlling yourself. Like, you're just saying it. You're not going to do it later on. It's not going to happen.
No. Not going to happen.
Is there anything else want to share about this book?
Yeah, one more thing. This book is good for your fitness goals. It's working for me.
Really? Oh, yes. Okay. So you're doing a lot of workouts now at home.
Whenever I can. I mean, I do a lot of walks and all that, and followed by workouts, followed by weight training and all kinds of things. And these are kind of things that I never actually. I had everything up here for like years, and it was just lying up there accumulating dust. And now I just use that 5, 4, 3 to do it, and within 26 days I lost like 4 kilograms, and it's ongoing, something that comes naturally. Now when I don't do it, I feel odd. So now I have to do it. It's become an addiction already. So that's how
I should try that too.
But watch your diet as well. These things must go together. Fitness program, a good diet. All right. So I mean, if you think you're overweight, then do away with your carbohydrates. Do away with all the things that you can do away with for a while at least. When I say for a while, give yourself a 100-day challenge, 200-day challenge, whatever. Chart it out. Use an Excel worksheet. Actually, write down what is it that you're doing. You can actually track how many kilometers you're walking every day, how many steps you're taking. Use your phone, your watch, or whatever, and all that. It tells you everything. List down all these things and your weight, your BMI, and everything. Day by day, track. Once you see your weight going down, then you're very happy.
Then it will be worth it. All the 5-second rules and everything, it's going to be so worth it. So those of you who actually wants to lose weight, you know what you can use, the 5-second rules. I think I'm going to start trying that tomorrow. I already tried that on my sleeping and my working. So yeah.
It is actually to start a 5-second rule on serious workout. I'm talking not just mind workout aerobic, serious workout that hurts your legs, that hurts your arms, that hurts every part of your body. It's very difficult to do. But when you do the 5, 4, 3, 1, when you start and you just go, that's it, you go. That's why I think the best slogan for this is Nike. Just do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just do it. Just do it. It really, really helps. Yeah, just do it. It's like, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like miraculous for me because I've been struggling to get into this fitness mode for a very long time because I used to be a very active person, sports-wise. I used to swim, I used to run, I used to do a lot of things. Then I had an operation, which almost kind of like took away my, not to say ability, but my mood to get fit and all that. And I used to tell myself after operation, no, I can't. I just started putting on weight and all that. Then I realized that, looking at myself, I wasn't happy. I put on a lot of weight. I told myself that rather than looking like the other half of Jabba the Hutt, so I decided to tell myself, even with the pain and whatever I'm going through, I will still continue to exercise. When I started exercising, 3/4 of the pain disappeared. Seriously.
Because you kept going. You didn't give up. You didn't stop.
Yeah, you keep going with the product. But when you do fitness program, don't be a hero or heroine, right? There is always a window of resting period, recovery period that you must have, right? So don't try to do like lift weights continuously for 2 weeks. Only an idiot will do that. So please don't do that. You're going to damage your muscles, your bones, and everything. So have a resting
That's self-torture.
After don't self-torture. Just do like maybe maximum 4 times a week. Rest for 2 days. 48 hours is the minimum. Right? 48 hours, then continue. 48 hours, then continue, and mix it with cardio and always. I always emphasize weights because weights is one thing that is really helped me a lot in being stronger, looking better. That's the main thing that I like about lifting weights, and it's for men and women. You can learn how to lift weights correctly. There's so much of things available for you to look at, and use the 5 rule whenever you're stuck doing something. Like I don't want to do my lateral leg lifts or this. The one thing that people hate to do in weightlifting is squats or your lateral bicep move and things like that. So for shoulder, so all these painful exercises, but people don't want to die.
Because it hurts too much. It makes them feel very tired very fast.
Yes, and then you will see your weight melting away, your fat melting away. So this is just about like I mentioned, getting things done, your goals, and all that, but also about your fitness programs, also about what you want to learn in like now. Let's say I'm thinking of doing the 5-second rule on learning coding, right? So I would like to learn coding. I like to learn C++, Python later, C++, and the basics like Java and all that. So when I plan the time to do it, then I will start that for sure. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Everything is possible as long as you want to do it. You have it in mind, and then you really want to have it done. 5-second rules, really. Correct. I think it's going to be really helpful. So you guys heard that, right? Anything you guys want to do.
Yeah, the main thing is, must remember one thing, right? One of the most important rules in life, besides the 5-second rule, is something which I believe in very strongly. It has got me into trouble, but I'm so proud of it. Don't listen to people. Don't care about what they think. Not even one little millisecond of a time or so. Don't care. I don't care. I just do what I need to do. I don't hurt people, right?
You just do you.
Right? I manage.
Yes.
It helps me a lot. I speak my mind. I don't keep quiet. Maybe for the first twice I might give you a chance. After that, you will know where heaven and where hell is.
Yes, I agree to that too.
Okay, so
like you don't have to listen to what everyone says to you, whether they judge you or whether they're telling you good or bad things. You just have to believe in yourself, listen to yourself, and do things yourself.
Okay. Right? Maybe that whoever that's all this will immediately now or after this session go and ask their friends, hey, this book 5-second rule, good or not? That is the mistake that shouldn't be made. Don't do
never
that.
No, they should never ask anyone opinions on whether they think the book is good or anything. Same goes to every other books. That's what I think. It's like, just because you said it's not nice doesn't mean that other people think it's not going to be nice or helpful. It might be helpful for some people.
Right, I can give you another good book, which is called The Talent Code. If people are so curious to know how the mind works and how things we do become habits and how people are so good in what they do sometimes, there's another book. It's called The Talent Code. We can review it time. I'll explain to you more about it because I'm like quarter way through now. It is good. It's really good.
Okay. Okay. So I think a lot more people will be willing to listen to all your reviews again. So maybe the next time I'm gonna invite you up again for a better book sharing. Then people will actually start reading because I really want to encourage more people to read. I really want to, because I realize that not a lot of people read really in these days. It's like they use smartphones, e-readings, and I mean, like, it's good that they're actually doing some readings, but back to those days when you're actually holding a book, that feels so different, so much different.
The reason why most people don't read is, like I mentioned just now, because from a very young age, reading has been something they were forced to do. That's why. So when maybe by parents, maybe by school or whatever. So because of this kind of environment that they come from, they tend to shun away from books, and also they have this superiority complex, thinking that I already finished school, I don't need to learn anymore. So to those people, I would say that okay, stay where you are. It's okay. It's all right.
I hated books.
Need
I really hated books as well.
no,
Even back at school, I don't like, but I found something that I like. So then I started reading. I started getting like, okay, I don't have to find something that people want me to read, but as long as I like reading that genre, then I'll just read that genre. So at least I'm still reading.
yeah, that's good. Just pick up anything that you feel like reading. There's no particular thing to say that you must read only about the law of connection, or you must only read about motivational interviews, or you must read only Shakespeare, which is Hamlet. You must pick up on books on how to hypnotize people. Read all. Read all of them.
Anything you like,
There's no
anything
harm.
that you think it's good for you.
Yeah. And if it's something you don't like, you would just drop the book. That's it. I've
Yes.
come across a few times where I picked up something. It was like really daunting and dragging, and it was not. How can I put it? It was not calibrated. My mind works, and I thought, no, I think I'll move on to something else. So then I started liking, like I said, all these books on self-help, on
Yeah.
motivation. Not that I needed motivation. I'm really self-motivated, but I just was very curious to see how this whole thing works. So I discovered a lot of other authors like Deepak Chopra, what we call what's her name, the famous one, Oprah Winfrey. She's good as well. So Dr. Jordan Peterson, and these are all fantastic authors who have studied the mind, studied society, who have done experiments, and they come with a lot of their academic research work and all that,
Mm-hmm.
which you cannot dispute. You just have to accept it as it is. So then I realized that a lot of people who are living in this world, especially senior managers nowadays, are living in a bubble that they think they're always right. So time will come for someone to your place. So when you have knowledge, I don't encourage you to go and put people in their place, but if you can, why not?
True. True. Why not? Really would I,
Why
I
not?
really
Yeah, it's not an
recommend,
ego trip.
yes.
You can't take it as an ego trip. It's just that sometimes what is right is right, what is wrong is wrong. So whether it's coming from any form of, whether, as you say, management, sometimes it comes in form of for your siblings, your parents, or whatever it is. What is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. You need to set things straight and not accept everything as there. So all these kind of things, way of thinking and all that, comes from the extent of your reading. How much have you read? What do you read? But before you put anybody in their place, make sure you know what the hell you're talking about. Don't simply
Yes.
taro people for no reason just because you read. Understand
Pardon,
the
pardon.
matter before
Did
you.
hear you saying just because you don't like something, then your voice
Yeah,
lost again.
no, just because you don't like what we call, you don't like someone or whatever, right? And then you don't simply taro them for no reason, and then just because you read only 2 pages in the book, at least finish the book before you talk about something. That's not to be an expert, but know what you're talking about, and try not to be
Yes.
confrontational, because then people will say you are condescending. That's another problem. So people also have this another mechanism in them, which their mind will shut them off from you. You start becoming
Yes.
uncomfortable for them, then they will shut them off from you and just pretend like they look interested in you, but inside nothing. So I understand this perspective from a lot by experience in teaching before, and I understand how the mind of a student works, how the mind of an adult works. Because I studied both andragogy and pedagogy, that means teaching adults and teaching children. So they have different ways of perception, and it's not much difference actually. Child and adult mind, not much of a difference, just a little bit in there. So people get intimidated easily. When they get intimidated, they get uncomfortable. When they get uncomfortable, they shut you off.
Totally
That's it. So
gone.
that's why sometimes when we kind of who try to show you this and tell you this and say that you should be knowing this, you should be knowing that, then that is not an effective person to teach, because the student will not be studying anything, because he's being told that he should know. How would he know what he should know? He's there to learn it from you, not for you to tell him that he should know. That's another problem we're facing in our society. You know what? The you should know mentality. Everybody is like, hey, you should know what? You should know what? You should know what? I came here to learn from you.
Exactly. I paid to
good.
learn, so you should be teaching me, not telling me that you should know how this works.
Yeah. You know,
A lot of people are like this these days.
In some places that I have been, in some organizations that I've been, I came across some senior managers like that. I think until today, they never forgotten me.
That's good. Is that a good thing or not?
Because I will point it out to them to say that, no, I don't know. So what do you mean by you should know? Oh, it's an industry norm. What is the industry norm? Is there a book that's called Industry Norm? Have a look at this book. Do you have any access to it or whatever? No, but everybody knows. Man, I know who these people are, who are these everybody people and all that. Then they get fed up with me, and that's it, end of story. So, if you don't know something, this is what happens. People will start with the you should know thing. So in order for you not to fall in that trap, read, people, read. Read as much as you can read. If you want to read only about your work, go ahead. Study your work. Study your entire career.
Yeah, so when people say that you should know, you actually know.
Yeah, and then I think a lot of audiences. I'm not sure who your audience is here, but maybe a lot of them are in a certain age group where most of them are so much into social media, so much into web designing, web layout, and stuff like that, right? Study that extensively, because that is the future. Understand the subject matter. Don't just talk about web hosting, web designing. Understand what each and what's a pixel. Understand what's HTML. Understand what's XHTML. These are the things that matters in the future. These are the things that you need to know, because your children is learning it now. You don't fall behind them. Don't fall behind them.
Yes.
You got to know. You got to know. So read as much as you can. There are so many courses you can do now. They even have courses, app courses. In an app, there are courses in an app that you can do. Short courses, 4-day courses, 5-day courses, whatever. Learn it. Learn HTML. Learn coding. Learn this. Learn that. Go and learn lah. Instead of sitting down there and,
our platform right now, right? UA has a lot of courses as well, and yours is also coming up soon. So yeah, why not? They can actually learn as well from here.
Yeah, there's a lot. I've seen a lot of this, especially now during the when the MCO first came, the first MCO last year, right? The first thing that happened within the first month of the lockdown globally was that all the major institutions in the world started offering free courses, diploma courses for free. Oxford, Stanford, a lot of universities were giving free courses, and not many people took. I don't know why. Free,
I didn't know that.
There's so many available, and nobody was interested to take it up. I don't know whether there are still such programs, but I can find out. But even simple things like learning English, learning languages, these are all important things, I don't understand. Most people don't want to learn, or they just feel that they have learned enough, and I don't know. It's very, very difficult to say this.
For me, it's like you never stop learning. You just keep learning all the way. whatever, no matter how old you are, what's your age and all, you just keep on learning. It never ends. There's always some things that you can actually learn. A lot.
My mom is 83 and she's still reading a lot of books. Okay, and she actually calls me and tells me that, okay, get me this book, post it to her. She's like that. So it can be anything. So one day she'd be telling me, get this book from Lillian too. I want feng shui, so send to.
Oh,
You know,
even feng shui as well.
spiritual. Then she became good friends with Lillian too. After that, she started calling her and talking to her directly. So that's how it. So if she wants to know something, she will go and find out straight from the source.
That's good. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, and my mom is the one who actually gave me my first book about this subject matter on using your mind and all that. My mom gave me a book called Creative Visualization by Lillian Tu. I got that book, right? And I got it like in 1993, that long ago.
Wow.
And yeah, so it was by Lillian Tu, and it was really good. It's like if you want something, you visualize it, you will get it. Like some people do, vision board. And that's in the 5-second rule, that book, creating vision boards. It's not just putting pictures there and looking at it and making it happen, but taking the next step on how to make it really happen. There's work behind everything that we need to do. There's no thing as a free lunch, right? There's a lot of people who just want to glide through life effortlessly by marrying rich partners, male or female, or both so the same. I also don't know. But if they want to be like that, then no point reading anything lah. You just read your face every day is good enough already.
Yes, that's right. Just look at your face and then you see what you know. You think you can know something. Yeah. It's always like that.
For those they can go for that. But for the rest of knowledge seekers and feel that it's exciting to read a book, that you will learn something, always understand that when you pick up the book and read, there's always something exciting inside there that for you to discover. No matter how small it is or what, it is exciting. There's always something nice to read. At some point, I'm reading books from the 1960s. I'm reading books from the 1940s. The oldest book I have is from 1784. I have a book from that year, 1784. It is called the Iliad of Homer. It is one of the Greek mythology thing and all. So not much of interest in that, so I'm not reading that. But I'm just having the book, so just keeping it for the sake of keeping it.
Just for show.
Because it hasn't deteriorated yet. It's quite old. Come to think of it, it's almost 200 over years old. So when I can, I do collect this kind of books. I go for when I travel or whatever, right? I do find places that you can find very nice books, interesting books. Penang is one beautiful source of books. Go to Chaurasta Market in Penang those days. Upstairs is a bookshop. You can find anything in the world there. Anything for that matter.
I see.
From any.
I'll take a visit there once the COVID is done.
Yeah, they take about 2-3 years. But I think you can look them up online. Look them up online and see what they have, because they're a bit more organized now. I think they've gone online already. So they have plenty and they're really cheap. Not say cheap, I would say that they are reasonable. Okay, reasonable. They have a wide variety of books, and it's like just the entire top part of the Chaurasta market is just books only. And they've been there for 40-50 years really.
Whoa, 40-50 years.
Yeah, very, very long. So these are some of the nice places that you can get books, and you'll find hidden gems. Malacca is another. These are the kind of places you'll find books. Malacca, Ipoh, Penang, Kota Baru, small shops and all that. They will have. You will find books.
I see. All right, Gurch, I think it's time now. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, for sharing the 5-second rules with us. Yeah. I hope that you will be able to come up again soon, or maybe next month.
Yeah, next month. Give me a month, because I got so many things going on. I'm also teaching, right?
Sure, no problem. Sure, that's not a problem. I believe the viewers are more than willing to listen to your recommendations and suggestions of books as well, right? I see Mr. Hammond as well. He said, learn with you, learn with mentor Gurcharan, which I know myself. I myself have been learning a lot from you as well. All the books that you always recommend me, I tend to finish it, but it's always halfway through. I'm being honest.
Just keep on attempting, and from attempting becomes a habit. Then you start finishing things up, and then you take a break for some. You don't have to read every day, not necessary. Read when you can.
Yes.
Yeah, because we have lives to lead as well. We have other parts that are important in our lives. We need to focus on a lot of things as well. We have relationships, you have your family, you have a lot of things that you need to look at, because you can't be spending too much of time doing one thing all the time. But when you can, you do it. That's it.
That's why I need to use the 5-second rules daily now. It's going to
Yeah.
be on my daily thing now. It's a thing that I have to get used to it. It's used to it now.
Yeah.
All right then. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Gurcharan for coming. So I'll see you guys next time again. Bye.
All right.
So that was Mr. Gurcharan sharing with us earlier for the 5-second rule. So everyone who's watching this right now, you guys are gonna get the book, right? Or maybe I set the link up so you guys can actually listen to it as well if you're not a reading person. So yeah, thank you so much for coming in tonight. I hope you guys stay safe, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much. Bye.